Thanks for choosing us. Well, the Ghana Police Service has detained Collins Dauda, the Member of Parliament for Asantehene South, in connection with the disturbances that occurred in Kukuom, Ahafo region during the ongoing limited registration exercise on the 11th of May 2024. Well, according to reports, one person was injured during the chaos and is currently undergoing treatment in a hospital. On your screens now is a copy of that statement from the Ghana Police Service on the disturbances that happened in the Ahafo region. And it reads that the Ghana Police Service, that's their statement posted on their Facebook page, the Ghana Police Service has arrested the Member of Parliament for Asantehene South, Honorable Alhaji Collins Dauda, for his alleged involvement in the disturbances which occurred at Kukuom in the Ahafo region during the ongoing limited voter registration exercise on Saturday, 11th May 2024. One person sustained an injury and is currently receiving treatment, and that's what the statement says.
Collins Dauda has not committed any crime. The allegation by the police that he was involved in some disturbances at the ongoing voter registration in Kukuom is palpably false and must be treated with the contempt it deserves. The NDC reiterates their commitment to peace in the ongoing limited registration exercise. They are a law-abiding party, but they are concerned by the widespread violent incidents across the country in which supporters have been at the receiving end of unprovoked brutalities, and they wish to remind the Ghana Police Service of their responsibility to protect all stakeholders. They say they cannot accept a situation where the police choose to watch on and take little action against NPP talks who unleash unprovoked violence on the NDC supporters in broad daylight, essentially saying that the arrest of Collins Dauda, the Member of Parliament, is on that basis, as he had no hand in the violence that occurred at the police station.
Interesting. Now, we can now hear from the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, who says the police arrest of Collins Dauda was mischievous. He spoke earlier on the AM show.
Well, that statement from the police was mischievous because it was also erroneous, and I see it as a calculated attempt to cover up for the Edijamain situation, which is very, very scary and unappetizing to watch.
Clarify for me. So you are suggesting the police was being mischievous by arresting Collins Dauda. Is that what you're saying?
Because the police knew and collaborated that in their statements. When the whole town was attacked by bandits allegedly sponsored by the MPP, the police knew. How can you see somebody's car and say that because you've seen his car, he should produce the guys or the young men who came in their police at a place where your own police would not? And I'm saying that why are the police not interested in arresting the young men who took over the whole town to ransom? Didn't they know their name? Couldn't they arrest him? They saw Collins Dauda's car and are accusing him of being involved. That is not his constituency in the first place. He wasn't there in the second place. You saw his car. Then you put it in public, centralizing your statement or that issue on the Member of Parliament who was not at the scene.
Well, Kukuom Asante is still with me in the studio. Kukuom, what's the update? Has he been released, Collins Dauda?
That is the indication we are getting from the NDC. We've also not been able to independently check with the police. But our understanding from the NDC is that Collins Dauda has been released by the police and he has been given a self-recognizance bill. He's back in his home, in his constituency. Of course, the police will continue doing their investigation, and if they find a need to press charges against him and put him before court, they will do so in the coming days.
Stay with me, Kukuom, because still on the limited voters registration exercise, the Ghana Police Service has interdicted 3 police personnel for their failure to perform their duty professionally during the registration exercise in the Ashanti region. Kukuom Asante joins me. He's still in the studio with details of that statement. Kukuom, what does it say?
Well, according to this statement, the Ghana Police Service has interdicted 3 police personnel with immediate effect over their failure to perform their duty professionally in the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. The affected policemen, Inspector Michael Addo, General Constable Eric Boache, and General Constable Michael Jan, on the 11th of May 2024, failed to perform in a proper manner a duty imposed on them as officers in charge of security at the Electoral Commission office at Edujama in the Ashanti region when some persons attempted to disrupt the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. The interdicted personnel will be taken through the due disciplinary process of the Ghana Police Service.
The police also issued a warning for the exercise. What does it say?
Well, the Ghana Police Service is warning all persons who intend to foment trouble at these places where the registration is going on. They say that that is not something they will countenance. They have enough men on the ground to deal with any persons who really come out to try and cause trouble at these registration centers, and they are asking everyone, including the major political parties, to desist from causing any trouble.
My colleague Asantehene there, thank you so much for joining us with details of those statements. Now let's move on to other stories. The Asantehene Otumfuo II has cautioned government and political actors to stay vigilant against activities that may disrupt the fairness of the 2024 general elections. According to the Asantehene, the country's past experiences with election must be a lesson to continue upholding the peace and stability devoid of violence. While marking his 25th anniversary celebration, the Asantehene served notice to stakeholders to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process. My colleague Dana Boachi Adam has a wrap of the climax of the Silver Jubilee celebration.
Akwasidae Festival is being celebrated by the Ashantis every 6 weeks. That is according to the Ashanti calendar. But it is the prerogative of the Asantehene to determine which Akwasidae he would call the Adai Kese. Well, he calls today the Adai Kese, the day he is celebrating his 25th anniversary. Dignitaries from across the world joined the Asantehene Otumfuo II to celebrate his 25th anniversary here at Jabrim at the Menshia Palace.
Your Royal Majesty, you have consistently emphasized your commitment to the fraternal ties that link Trinidad and Tobago to Ghana. Your leadership has stimulated increased collaboration between our countries, which offer mutually beneficial trade and economic opportunities to aid in a mutual development.
Even celebrating his 25th anniversary, the Asantehene has sent a word of caution to political actors.
This year is another election year. Our political leaders are already on the campaign trail, and there's yet many months of intense and combative campaigning ahead. After all our past experiences, I remain sanguine that our democracy is safe. Nonetheless, we need to remind ourselves that we cannot take things for granted, and we must be alert to avoid anything that has the potential to derail the electoral process. People need the right environment in which they can make informed choices in the interest of the nation. May we forever drink from the fountain of peace, and may our efforts in the years ahead be crowned with the grace of the living God.
Today, the Sekeja Kofi is out. The golden stool of the Ashanti Kingdom is out. Dignitaries from across the world joined the Asantehene to celebrate the Silver Jubilee. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with the Vice President and other government functionaries also joined the celebration.
I think his greatest legacy and achievement on the occasion of this Silver Jubilee of his ascension to the Golden Stool, in my respectful view, is the resolution of the crisis in Dagbon and the role he played, the fortitude, the tenacity, and the wisdom and courage with which he brought to bear, I think is highly commendable. And that's why we are all here to celebrate him and to salute him.
For President Akufo-Addo, the Asantehene has shown loyalty to the Ashanti Kingdom and Ghana at large.
I was present at Kumasi Sports Stadium on that day, when with the state sword in his hand and his kutukuni cloth wrapped around his waist, Bama Kwakudia swore to uphold the traditions and paths charted by his 15 predecessors, and to continue to make Asantehene a model traditional state in our country. By all accounts, he has lived and continues to live up to this noble undertaking. For a quarter of a century, Otumfuo II has served as a symbol of unity, progress, and tradition for the Asante Kingdom, and indeed for the entire nation of Ghana.
The Adekese brings us to the end of the first and second session of the 25th anniversary celebration of the Asantehene Otumfuo Tutu II. Well, in November, we'll be having the third session, which will climax the entire anniversary celebration. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boachitankwa Yadom, Kumasi.
Let's head now to the Volta region, where torrential rainfalls in various parts of the nation has severely impacted the infrastructure of Anglo Senior High School in the Volta region. Already grappling with inadequate facilities, the school restored and resorted to using a makeshift dining hall and kitchen. However, the recent heavy rains, accompanied by powerful winds, ripped off the roofings of crucial buildings on campus. The headmaster and students are appealing for assistance to address the dire situation. There's more in the following report.
The Anglo Senior High School has thousands of students, but facing acute infrastructural challenges, with many of the buildings decades old and in dire need of urgent renovation. The recent rainfall has caused an even greater damage to the existing facilities, as headmaster of the school, Wisdom Kwame Adeti, tells the news team.
Currently, we have a windy rainstorm that has caused a lot of devastation to the structures I have in the school. Currently, my ICT lab, physics lab, agric, visual art, assembly shed, and other buildings have been ripped off. The most serious one is my kitchen. The kitchen and the temporary dining hall built for the school since 2012. For the fact that the actual dining hall being built for us since 2012 has not been completed. And when we had a rainstorm, the kitchen and the dining hall have been totally destroyed. As we speak, my kitchen staff cook under the vagaries of the weather.
The headmaster is appealing to government to complete an abandoned dining hall, which construction started in 2012.
The dining hall complex that is being built from the school since 2012 should be completed. The moment it's completed, we have a kitchen apartment in it, store everything so that the kitchen women can move there and cook for my students. So that is a plea I would like to make. Two girls' dormitory blocks have also been ripped off, and I've been able to roof it since we are in a rainy season. If I don't pay urgent attention to that, the students will be in the rain, which will not augur well for the school.
Students of the school are worst affected as they make most use of these facilities. Some prefects have been making an urgent appeal for help.
Our kitchen, and the last time we had a downpour, this is the situation right now. The kitchen is down, and our ICT lab, and our chemistry, the physics lab. Seriously, the rain has caused a lot of damages, and we are appealing to the government to come to our aid because the school authorities cannot do it alone. From roofing sheets down to furniture, everything, we need almost everything. When it comes to girls' hostel right now, we have new hostel, but we don't have washrooms. Right now, about 800 plus girls, boarders, are suffering from one pit. Because of this, some of our girls had to go out just to ease themselves. We are really suffering.
As you can see, our dining hall have been ripped off by the wind. And also, we don't have an assembly shed and hostels as well. We expect the government to respond to our need as quickly as possible.
The District Chief Executive Officer of Angloga described the situation as catastrophic, a situation the budget of his assembly cannot deal with.
There was a rain, but at the end the rain came with a rainstorm. So after the rain, we went out to see them damage. But when we went out, it's not easy. I didn't see that thing in my life before, especially our public schools. When you go to Futa School, it's a newly, one of the new secondary school in my district here. At the end, the roof of all their buildings where they are having class is not there. And when you go to Anglo Secondary School also, the same thing. And other public schools, especially if we go to Koji, Alakple, Angloga Isef, Agove, Aklautoko.
MP for the area, Richard Kwame Sefe, has already moved in to help, but the community needs more help to be able to completely deal with the damages caused by the rainfall.
My rounds this morning points to the fact that still, because of today's rain,
itself has caused more havoc, adding to the already precarious nature. How things are unfolding means that the assembly and my good self cannot just shoulder the problem. I know NADMO went around, picked the data, and they sent the data to Ho and Accra. For now, my plea is that government should help NADMO to supply a few bundles of roofing sheets and nails so that those individual people can also get some support.
When the news team visited, it was still raining, compounding the already precarious situation. The plea of students and authorities is to government: come to our aid urgently, or as the rain set in and intensify, there will be more damage.
Well, thankfully, I have the Member of Parliament for Anglong joining us here live on Joe News Desk. It's Kwame Sefe. Thank you so much for your time here on Joe News Desk. Let's start with the current situation. It's quite worrying to see that students would have to make do with makeshift structures whilst government tries to fix the situation. But what interim measures have you put in place to enable the students to live in a conducive environment, if you would like, in the meantime?
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you for the opportunity. Really, these issues are more or less force majeure that nobody was expecting to come. We know this period, rainstorms will come, but as to the magnitude, one is not able to assume what is there for us. So we also suffered such catastrophe on the 23rd of March. Of April, sorry. In Anglo constituency alone, we have about 2,400 individuals affected, which is made up of about 644 households. Out of this, 27 institutions, like basic schools, as well as senior high schools, were affected. The 7 of them, the 7 second cycle institutions that we have, were affected. But 2 of these public senior high schools, that's Anglo Senior High, as well as Volta Senior High School, were worse hit. Anglo Senior High School, as you have shown to the public, they were having the challenge at their kitchen department. In 2012, government, through the GET Fund, started the expansion project of the then existing dining hall so that it can accommodate more of the students during dining session. Unfortunately, from that time to date, the building is about, to my estimation, about 85–90% complete. What is left with the fittings, as the louvers, painting, and a few other things for the school, the dining section of the school, to run to its fullest capacity. As at the time, the contractor put up a temporary shed to host the dining session. That was what was invoked until today, until recently when the rainstorm came to destroy it. During the dining sessions now, it's very difficult for the students to have a safer place, to have a place to dine. That is why we are appealing to the government to contractor, or they should find a way to appease the contractor to come to site. If he comes to site, the contractor will be
Well, apologies, we've lost Richard Sefe there. He was giving updates. He says 2,400 households have been affected so far by the rainstorm. He also says that 644 households have been affected. as well. That's 2,400 individuals and 644 households. We're trying to reconnect the lines to get to him because the concern now is that he's appealing for government support, but he happens to be member of parliament for the area. So what is he doing? We'll get him back on the line to get him to answer that question. But let's do other stories now. The programs officer of the Foundation for Security and Development in Africa, Ali Ibrahim, has highlighted the escalating tension in certain regions due to continued exclusion and marginalization of Fulbi's community. He says it is imperative for mutual understanding and inclusion between the Fulbi and non-Fulbi communities to foster peace amidst the threat posed by terrorists and extreme groups across West Africa. Ali Ibrahim made this statement at a resilience rally at Jirapa in the Upper West region, where Rafiq Salam reports. We'll get that report now. I'm told that I have Richard Kwame Sefe back on the lines now. Thankfully, he joins us, giving us updates on what is happening at Anglon Senior High School. We know that some of the roofs in the school have been ripped off due to the heavy rainfall in the community. Thank you so much for your time back here on Newsdesk. Richard, you were just giving us updates. You say 2,400 individuals have been affected. You also say 644 households have been affected. You are appealing to government to come to the aid because you tell me that 27 institutions, including schools, have been affected. But then you're in government, so it comes as a surprise to me you're asking for help. What are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you can. Hello?
Yes, you loud and clear. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, myself and DC, we have been collaborating as to this, how to go about these challenges. Our budget, in terms of this Assembly Common Fund, cannot in any way support the level of devastation. That is why the DC, as well as myself, we are appealing to the government to come to the aid of these institutions. If we will be able to resolve that of Anglon Senior High and Votasco, for Votasco is one of the newest senior high schools established within the district. Unfortunately, they were feeding on the basic school, that is Aglodoni Junior High School's block. That block was what they were using, and when the rainstorm came, it ripped it off too. So for them, I can say that they don't have any classroom as we speak. And I think if government and other benevolent organizations will come to our aid so that we'll be able to re-roof the classroom block for Vota Senior High. For that of the Anglon Senior High, they were able to marshal their forces and see to their computer labs and a few other places. But the challenge is now with the dining session or the department where the kitchen staff will have to be doing the cooking. We are pleading that what is left to be done is nothing too much for government not to do. It's just a matter of instructing the contractor, supporting the contractor to come and put a finishing touch on the already about 90% dining hall complex which the government is putting up through the gate fund to just make good use of it. I am of the view that if nothing is done at all, when Parliament is recalled, I would like to meet the minister or to pose an urgent question as to what we can do to appeal to the contractor to come to site. Because if you come to the school now, it's a sorry situation. Already, most of the schools within my constituency are lacking basic amenities. Most of the schools within my constituency, the vehicles that were being, the buses that government was distributing for the past 7 years, we have none of my schools, except Atoko Vocational School or Atoko Technical School, that receive only a bus. So we have a lot of challenges. But this one, the rains are here. And I would like to appeal to them. I know they can do it. Let them come to support Anglo Senior High, as well as Volta Senior High, for them to let the system run effectively and efficiently. For other schools, some of them, the assembly and myself, we bought few roofing sheets to support them. But if you take a school like Aklo Toko, that one too, the whole building, the roof is gone. It needs government intervention too. So for now, let me use this opportunity to appeal through you to the general public that if they could help us get a few bundles of roofing sheets to be able to re-roof some of those affected schools where government gets the money to support the contractor to come to site and help us. That is the appeal I have to make through Joy News this morning.
Richard, just before I let you go, before Parliament is recalled and you have an audience with the regional minister, we're looking at interim measures because the number of people affected, you tell me, is 2,400. And you tell me 27 institutions have been affected. So we're looking at a widespread impact. So what are the interim measures? So, for example, you mentioned in Anglo Senior High School, would they be moved to a temporal structure? What measures are you putting in place to ensure that these children are safe in the interim? Unfortunately, we've lost Richard there. Well, let's go back to our earlier story. The Programs Officer of the Foundation for Security and Development in Africa, Ali Ibrahim, has highlighted the escalating tension in certain regions due to the continued exclusion and marginalization of Fulbi's community. He says it is imperative for mutual understanding and inclusion between the Fulbi and non-Fulbi communities to foster peace amidst a threat posed by terrorism and extreme groups across West Africa. Ali Ibrahim made this statement at a resilience rally at Jirapa in the Upper West region, from where my colleague Rafiq Salam reports.
The Foundation for Security and Development in Africa, FOSDA, a non-governmental organization based in Accra but operating in all 16 regions of Ghana, was established in 2001. FOSDA, as part of their operations, therefore organized 2 resilience dialogues at Jirapa Municipality on community integration and social cohesion for peace and security to ensure human security. The dialogue aimed to foster unity and promote peace among the Fulbi community and non-Fulbis. An opinion leader at Jirapa, Yepere Martin, underscored the need for both Fulbi communities and non-Fulbis refrain from wrongful accusations and see each other as brothers.
We have always have a perception about our cousins, the Fulbis. In every community, there are perceptions about them. We want to demystify these perceptions. When there is a crime that is committed and we have Fulbis in the community, then we are tempted to push a blame to them. These are the issues that we want to clarify. We must see one another as brothers and sisters. We must live together peacefully. We must be very truthful about one another. Let us respect our value system. And if we do all these, I am sure that we'll be promoting the peace that we want, we'll be promoting the development that we want in our community. When there is a conflict, nothing good comes. We must avoid conflict by all standards. In whichever form it comes, we must not embrace it. We must do away with conflict. Let us fight conflict together by speaking out the truth and by doing what is right.
The program officer of FOSDA, Ali Ibrahim, noted that the main aim of the organization focuses more on human security.
As you are aware, the 7 components of human security are very important and endear to our own development. So as part of our efforts to contribute to government efforts and other stakeholders' efforts to ensuring that Ghana is peaceful, Ghana is safe, and we are also very safe to go about our duties and then contributing our quotas towards development.
He outlined the reasons for organizing the Resilience Dialogues sponsored by one NEP through the Embassy of Denmark.
There has been a growing tension in this particular enclave or this particular region, especially in Drapa, in Tumu area, the Hamale area, the Nandam area, about the activities of the Fulbase. The Fulbe community, they face a lot of marginalization. They face a lot of exclusion in the system. And then we are seeing that this particular exclusion and marginalization can be a trigger to radicalization. It can also be a trigger or a driver to violent extremism. So as an organization that is more concerned about the security of Ghana, contributing to the effort of other organizations and the nation at large, we thought it's so important to bring this particular program so that we'll have this kind of dialogue between the full base and the non-full base, or the host communities or other tribes within the Drapa area and the Lambuse area, for the purpose of they coming together and then ensuring that we are one people and then we have a common destiny, to ensuring that Ghana is peaceful for all of us and then develop as one nation.
Two participants at the Resilience Dialogue, Alaji Yakubu Jagaji and Sonom Mankara, share their thoughts on the trading.
The security people, all you people, talk to them, talk all of them, like the head people, they talk to them. We also try and turn back our homes, call them together, talk what has happened to them. They should know, if no peace, nobody will be free. If bad thing come, you long everybody. If you are Fulani, you are Sisali, you are everything is bad for you. So they try to make together peace.
I've learned that Fulani people, they are equal human beings. We need to live peaceful with them in order for us to even benefit certain things from them, and they also benefit. Some of us, indigenous, also called trouble. When we even trace the history of the trouble, we are the most trouble causers. But most people think that because they are aliens, they are not from here. Any little thing, that's where they easily attack them.
Reporting for Dway News, Rafik Salam, Jiruba.
Let's head now to Takwa in Swayam, where the community of persons living with disabilities encounter distinctive hurdles as government pledges often fail to translate to sufficient support, leaving many lacking essential resources and services. Daniel Autry, the president of Persons Living with Disability in Takwa in Swayam, sheds light on their plight in the following report.
In fact, for persons with a disability, we have a lot of problems. One, the government has promised to give us 3% of the common fund share, which is supposed to come quarterly. But now, it doesn't come regularly, maybe 6 months or a year. And when there's no money to, the assembly or the association cannot do anything unless the money comes. So in fact, we have challenge in terms of hospital, in terms of maybe somebody need artificial leg or something like that. Truly speaking, the members are very poor. In terms of financial, we are very, very poor. Because last time like this, we had 56,000 as 3% common share for. And we are more than 1,500 here. So you divide 1,500 by 56,000. It's even less than 20 Ghana.
Without interpreters at government hospitals, those with hearing impairments face significant barriers to healthcare.
We don't have interpreters at the hospital. So our brothers and sisters who don't hear impaired, it gives them very, very difficult to access healthcare at the hospital. So we are appealing to government through your media, but if at least you can get one interpreter at our main hospital here, it will help us and it will improve the healthcare of our people.
Member of Parliament for Takwa Nsuayim, George Mrikuduka, is dedicated to serving his constituents, especially those with health issues and disability. He has donated some items which are valuable and needed by the persons with disability during his birthday.
I chose today to celebrate with persons with disabilities, and I'm so humbled to be associated with those who are physically challenged. I had the opportunity, by the grace of God, to donate some sort of wheelchairs, clutches, white canes to these people. I also dined with them and shared some, at least a token also with them. And that in any way gives me that encouragement. It gives me that support. It gives me that motivation.
Daniel Autry expressed the gratitude of persons living with disability to the gesture by the Member of Parliament.
He has been doing it every year. He started from Dokim and then now to Standard Park every year. This is not the first time. And every year too, you make sure he donates something special to us.
It's time for the government to fulfill its promises and ensure that all members of the community have access to essential healthcare services. For Joy News, in Athalia Kwansa, Takwa Nsuayim.
Well, we're back here in the studios. My name is Faustina Safa. We're taking a quick breather. When we come back, we'll be back with business. To stay tuned in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Organizers of the first Fintech and Innovation Conference in the Accra 3i Africa Summit are promising to use the gathering to push for more funding for the sector. Put together by the Bank of Ghana and Development Bank Ghana, the conference will also explore more innovative ways to ensure that the technology and fintech space gets the needed policy support. My colleague Winston Taki is there for us live. We want to connect with him now for the very latest. And Winston, there's going to be an opening ceremony later in the day, but what is happening right now where you are? All right, quite a bit of a delay reaching Winston. I'm going to try one more time. Winston, what's happening where you are?
Darryl, currently I'm at the Accra Conference Center where the whole 3i Summit is ongoing. When we say 3i, impact, investment and innovation. And currently there's a preliminary session ongoing in two of the halls here. And there are people who are policymakers, investors, who are currently trying and having conversation on how best Africa's innovative or technology sector can be revived. So there are people registering who are now coming from all across the continent, and many are networking. Opportunities are here. I met 3 fintech innovators.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, Darryl, I'm currently at a 3i Africa Summit where innovation, investment, and impact is happening. There are preliminary sessions ongoing in 2 of the halls, and these preliminary sessions have experts and policymakers who are having the innovation or conversation on how Africa's segment, especially the fintech sector, can be revived. I'm seeing people, especially about 10 innovators, who spoke to me that they are having fantastic product, but this is an opportunity for them to connect to the right people and have the right conversation towards getting the needed finance to revive the sector. At 1:00 p.m., we'll be having the opening session where the president will be kickstarting the summit. It's a 3-day summit. But before we delve deeper into what's going on, I have here with me the head of innovation, Asantehene General, to tell us about his expectation ahead of today's opening session. Good morning. It is good to have you.
Good to have you, Winston. How are you doing?
Great. This is George Ejaben. And now tell me, what is your expectation for today?
Nothing but goodness. Winston, you can see the number of people that are coming. It tells you the kind of pivotal role Ghana is playing when it comes to the innovation ecosystem. And then when you have the regulator, Bank of Ghana, leading it, you can be nothing than happy to see that good things will come out of this. It's good that as Ghanaians, yes, we should innovate, we should go ahead of the curve, but it's also important that we don't do this in silos. So that is why we're bringing a lot of the central bank governors who are here, who are decision makers, to help so that in terms of the innovation ecosystem, it becomes a broader topic outside Ghana and not just Ghana. So it becomes an African conversation in total.
Many have said that this could have been started several years ago. Is it the right time? Is it the right opportunity for us to see a revolution in the tech space? And should it happen, how much, especially in terms of job creation? Because consistently the international community keep telling Africa that your resource are the youth.
Winston, the time is now. By 2035, Africa will have the biggest youth in the whole world, youth population in the whole world, which means there is a need for us to start building the infrastructure. Let's forget about tomorrow. We couldn't make it. Right now, what we are doing is building the blocks for that future generation to sit on. And how else than through innovation? So ideally, the infrastructure is being built, and it's being built today. It's being built with everyone within Africa and beyond. The head of state from Singapore is here. The head of state from Grenada and other countries are also here to see how we can do this together.
Now, before the close of today, especially in terms of policy structure, what are the end results that possibly you can say will make things change?
I'm looking for a Pan-African approach so that when Ghana and Nigeria is having trade or is having some sort of exchange, it becomes easier. I'm looking for a way where the youth from Ghana can go to Rwanda and still work, a way for the youth of South Africa to come to Ghana and still work as if nothing has happened. I'm looking for a Pan-African change, and that is what I'm hoping to see today.
Thank you very much, George Ejaben. So you just heard from Mr. George Ejaben, who is the head of innovation, Asantehene General, having that conversation with me. There are many tech experts from all across Africa here to have an experience, and here to have connection, here to close deals, and here to shake hands towards building an African Fintech revolution. And so we'll be giving you up-to-date information on what is happening. From 1 p.m. when the event kickstarts, we'll be bringing you an update here on Joy Business.
All right, thank you very much, Winston Taki. They will be checking with him in the course of the day. Now, it was a joyous time at the maternity unit of the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital as new mothers were celebrated by a livestock brand of Wilma Africa as the world marked Mother's Day. And at its Mami Mo campaign, the company made special donation of some personal and home care gifts, including soaps and other toiletries. The gesture was to celebrate the efforts and pains mothers endure at birth and in the upbringing of their offspring as a company commits to providing quality home care products. There's more in this report.
Motherhood is not only a title but comes bearing responsibilities on all females ushered into this part of life cycle. From protecting their offsprings and ensuring their proper upbringing, the responsibility of mothers is uniquely defined and appreciated in society. Lucy Asari shares her experience as a mother.
Being a mother is very great, and when the moment you give birth, like you feel like different in women, yeah. And being single without a mother, like you see yourself as, oh, you are okay. But the moment you had a baby, like you now have a responsibilities to like carry. You'll be breastfeeding. When growing up to, you'll be doing different things that you being single like you won't feel being single again. It's very great. It's very nice to be a mother.
In celebrating their efforts and determination to cater for their family, Wilma Africa's Alive Soap brand made donations to the maternity unit of the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. Under its Mamimo campaign, the company handed some souvenirs including toiletries, personal and home care items to the mothers. Senior midwife at the maternity unit of Kath, Gifty Salom, explains the gesture came at the opportune time as some mothers struggle to purchase them.
Sometimes the mothers that come here are really mothers in need. They really need help in terms of toiletries, in terms of soap, detergent to wash their baby's clothes sheets, to even cater for their personal hygiene. But sometimes they don't have any help from anywhere, and sometimes you have to go out of our way to personally help them as nurses or as a unit. But for Jamal Group to think of us and on this special occasion as Mother's Day to come in to be able to support them, we are really, really grateful, and we wish more of this will come for the mothers.
For the mothers, it was a day well celebrated.
For say Mother's Day, you have to cry, oh, be a friend and Rishino, but Munimi da, Makaye, na, and your wishing keke, but something is attached to it. God bless you, people.
Nademi can send Yamishra Munina, just say, Obi Dowa, on your water, on Kaiwo. Now, somewhat nya Tima Biamaye.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bradsqueco.
And that's it for this segment. The news returns shortly.
Thank you so much for your time here on NewsDesk. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Some of the top stories there trending on myjoyonline.com. You could see reason for Collins Dauda's arrest unfounded. He was nowhere near Kukuom, and that's coming from the NDC. Well, we'll be back here at 12 p.m. when we bring you the midday news. Do stay tuned in. Have a blessed day.